Hey guys, Coach Jared here. We are going to go over workouts 1 and 2 for the Masters. Again, workout 1 being that 6 minute AMRAP. For the men, we'll start on the AMRAP of 6 minutes, 4 pull-ups, 5 burpees, 6 goblet squats, and part 2 being 10 clean and jerks, 135, 10 at 155, 5 at 185, and 5 at 205. Obviously, that'd be a little bit later. I want to preface here, I actually received more reps on workout 1 than the first time I actually tried it, by about 9 reps, but actually almost a minute slower on the clean and jerk. It may have been because I actually cleaned earlier that day, or it could have been the fact that I went maybe pushed a little bit harder on the actual AMRAP. I think for a lot of people, the big point here is going to be if you are going to struggle with the clean and jerks later on, maybe go a little bit harder on the AMRAP, knowing that you're going to struggle with those clean and jerks later. Those of you who are going to go through the clean and jerk ladder pretty easily, you may be able to actually, you know, push through that again even harder than you normally would. Um, Knowing that again, you may have an advantage by being able to get through the clean and jerk ladder, where some people may not. Um, so this is round 2 here. Uh, you know, for me, consistent pacing is always kind of important. I don't want to go out too hard, or too light. So finding that rhythm, finding that pace is definitely important. Butterfly pull-ups, obviously, if you have them, is going to be key. Um, if you don't, kipping's going to be just fine, or a strict. As long as those elbows are locked out, chin's going to the bar at the top, it doesn't matter. Excuse the class here. They were going through some toes to bar skill work. You'll kind of see that go on the full video. Kind of took over a little space as they were trying to learn some toes to bar skill work. So on the goblet squats, again, here we're going to see making sure again that his elbows staying below the bell, that we're not pulling above, and holding that bell in a weird manner. Squats can be again relatively easy as far as not going to be a lot of weight, just consistently moving through them. Talk about the burpee here in just a second. So once we get to the burpees, for me, going really wide with the feet makes jumping those knees up to the chest a little bit easier rather than keeping them narrow. Those feet are going to have to travel farther and keep them narrow. And again, all we're looking for is just feet leaving the ground. I'm not jumping super high, keeping it nice and consistent pace. Towards the end, you'll see maybe a little bit faster pace on that. But again, really not moving super fast, just trying to be as consistent and taking the least amount of rest as possible. As soon as we're done with this kettlebell, we can go basically right back to the bar. It's only 4 pull-ups, trying to chalk up unless I absolutely have to, unless you're getting super sweaty. Try and avoid any chalk. Again, it's just a time killer, time suck as we call it. I'm going right down to those burpees. So we're going to speed things up just a little bit. We're about halfway through right now. We'll speed things up, kind of guess towards the end. I think for me, again, consistency being the king here, trying not to get super fast. Hopefully the first round is looking just like I did six burpees there instead of 5. Hopefully the last round is looking very similar to the very first round, not going too much faster or too much slower. All right, guys. So this is ending everything out here. I believe this is the end of the last round, or so just a couple of seconds left. Just finishing out again. Starting to get pretty taxed here. Again, keeping the feet wide, but last couple seconds, that was a no rep. I'll call that one on myself. But again, pretty taxed here. Trying to speed up the last couple burpees at the end, get those last couple reps, making sure we get that highest score as possible. So moving into the clean and jerks, I know the camera angle changed. I promise you it was a 3-minute rest. swear, judging by the level of what looks like not very pretty clean jerks. But again, guys, for me, this is 30 singles. I This is a personal thing. I feel like I waste a lot of energy on the eccentric, bringing it back down, especially the lightweight like 135. Um, I feel like I just spend more time bringing it down each time than just making sure I follow it down and going right back up. So obviously we're gonna hit our 10. The big thing here, guys, is going to be being very efficient with your kind of setup. So right here we have the 10s right in place. We're going to go directly put those on, slide those bad boys on, bringing them 155. So obviously those at the top, making sure those are not under the 25s. Again, just wasting your precious seconds. This should be hopefully a little bit of a breather, catch your breath a little bit before we go into our 10 at 155. So 10 at 155, again, hopefully just going to hit 10 singles, going right from our clean directly into the push jerk if you can. Again, it's just pretty efficient, using the receiving dip of the clean to press yourself up and under the bar on the push jerk. Again, making sure before the bar starts to move down that we're actually extending those knees. That seems to be a common problem, especially with fatigue, that we're going to extend or basically press the bar overhead and never extend the hips and knees. Obviously, starting to fatigue here. We're going to hit our 10. Oh, take some more rest. It's always fun watching yourself work out. Tax, tax, tax. So, bringing it back down. So obviously going to 185. So we're going to take those 10s off, slide those 25s on. Again, the tough part here, so you saw like through that 10, pretty far out of the way. Again, you want to keep it relatively close, so that when you get to the 205, those 10s are just going to slide right back onto the outside. So again, as we're increasing weight, some of you guys will be able to kind of maintain that pace of power clean directly in the push jerk. Definitely real far forward there. But again, if we can, hitting that power clean directly in the push jerk is going to help out with efficiency. It does take a little bit more energy, but definitely helpful. I think at the 205, we'll get there in a second. We start to split jerk just a little bit. Again, as the last couple of reps, just really taxed out, really fatigued, and in the need to split jerk. So as we slow things down, hitting that 205 again, we're gonna have a couple reps with power clean push jerk, and last couple reps are gonna be a power clean into our split jerk. Remembering again on the split jerk, bringing those feet back together before the bar travels down. A couple takeaways from this again, just making sure the reps are consistent, trying not to go too fast right off the gate, and obviously trying not to go too slow to where you're going to be leaving it kind of out on the table, so to speak. As far as the weight goes, again, squat cleans are just fine if we need to squat it, if the weight does get a little heavy. And yeah, just try and stay consistent. It's only 12 minutes total. Won't be too bad.